Hello, everybody. Hello, all atheists out there. So, I just want to clear a few things up. And if you take a moment with me right here, you would understand a few things that you don't usually get into because you are brainwashed, you are numbed, you are not awakened, and you are in the right place to be programmed again. So I want you to think about everything: your body, your mind, your heart, your spirit, all at the same time. I want you to think about the night, the morning, the moon, the sun. I want you to think about the sleep process that we have every night, and why do we sleep, and where do we go, and why is there 24 hours, not more than that and not less than that. And is the godly time is unlike our time, because God have set limits for us. He gave us brain to reflect and think. But he also wired the subconscious in it, because subconscious mind is a godly, heavenly thing. Yes, just like you heard me. I just believe this is just my research, okay? I've done research, and I just realized that our subconscious mind is where we need when we go to heaven. Okay? So, with that being said, this explains the fact that when we sleep, we don't know where we go. We just sleep and then we wake up, because if you are not aware enough to think about this, what are you even doing in life? Why are you even alive? Do you even have a purpose? I don't know. I do, but I do have a purpose, and I hope that everybody create a purpose of their own. If you don't have a purpose, please go ahead and have one, because that is really important. Create one. If you don't know your purpose yet, just create one, just like I did. For example, my purpose is to help and inspire people. But the question is, am I doing that all the time or just a few times? Well, the answer is not all the time. But I'm learning how to be inspirable and I'm learning how to help people more. But really, you cannot help people if you don't help yourself. So that's what I'm doing. I'm helping myself more so I can gain more clarity in how to become helpful to people who are in need of help. So when we see dreams, sometimes we remember them, sometimes we don't. But have you ever thought about why do we forget things? Yeah, I had to say this, because the reason why we forgot is because it's for wisdom. And if we know everything, we would just lose the thrill about this life. We would just find this life so boring that we know everything. We know the future, the past, whatever. Okay, let's just get out of here. No. You don't know what's gonna happen next, because it's up to you. Listen, you already have a destiny. I'm just saying. But most of the time in the physical world, you have the freedom to pick and choose. But because of the systems that have been established in our world, we are unable to make our own choices. So if you are not awakened yet, please go ahead and awaken your soul, whatever. I'm not even joking about this because this is really important. If you're not awakened, if you're not aware, if you're not, like, I'm going to talk about this later on, but when we sleep, we forget where we were, and there's absolutely, like, sleep is a mystery. And I've always thought about, where do we go when we sleep? And why do we see those dreams? And I always believed, lately, not always, I cannot lie, I said that I've done a research of my own, and I cannot say always because I've just discovered these things and I wanted to share it with people who might be interested in these things. So the fact that we forgot where we go, or the whole process of sleep, when we wake up, we remember our dreams. Sometimes we don't, but that's not important. Sometimes it can be for two reasons, which I found myself. The first reason is to process day-to-day problems that we can be guided, scientifically, to process feelings or thoughts or problems that we are facing in our daily life. The first reason. The second reason, it's for spiritual guide. Sometimes you see the future. Sometimes you see what you're going to do tomorrow when it happens. And you would be just amazed. Sometimes, which is the second reason, sometimes you get a sign, a signal, or something that your spirit guide's trying to warn you about or guide you through, and all that. This is about dreams. But what I find most interesting about dreams and sleep is, where do our soul go? And does the soul leave our body? Do we die spiritually? I mean, no. Like, we're physically cool. We're working and everything is great. But our soul somehow travels somewhere that only God knows, right? We don't know that yet. And I really have to think of it this way because it makes it easier for me to understand the process of sleep and all those things together. Because I really can't find another explanation for that, because I am a spiritual person. And I do think about these things, and I have to, because if I don't think about these things, I really won't find it on TV or on the phone while scrolling through those useless apps, right? You cannot find these things. They don't want you to be awakened. They want you to be numbed. They want you to stay brainwashed and all that, because it's really hard to control someone who is awakened, someone who has a purpose, and someone who is very disciplined and very focused on the things that matters in life, not only their lives, but in life in general. Like, some people, they don't have time to use their phones anymore. They have a lot of things to do. Back to sleep. Well, I am one of the people that sleep a lot. And I don't know if I have to mention this, but once I had a boyfriend, and when I told him that I sleep 8 to 9 hours a day, he was like, that means that you would be sleeping for like 22 years, your whole life. And I told him, yeah, what's wrong with that? He was like amazed, and he did not believe it, because he's just a person that think differently than me, but he's very healthy. He introduced me to a very healthy lifestyle and a healthy diet. And yeah, I mean, I think it apps to how we choose the people we are surrounded by carefully, because those are the base of our level up and our advancement and our um, you know, becoming better, advancing, going forward in life and all that. I had to cut this part. Oh my goodness, I am literally scared of the wisdom I'm getting. I know that my spirit um become more grown. Like, yeah, the spirit can grow as well. And I'm just surprised because I realized that when we sleep, our spirit go to the creature, and the subconscious mind is a heavenly thing, as I always believe. The subconscious is heavenly thing, but what actually see the dream is our brain. The soul does not exist in our body. When we sleep, we are kind of dead, but we would be dead if God didn't allow our spirit to go back to our body. Like there is a percentage that we would die when we sleep more than when we are awake. There is a huge percentage that when we sleep, there is a possibility that we would die. And this blew my mind, and I cannot stop thinking about it because I finally decode the secret why we sleep and why our bodies sleep and why we see these dreams and all that. And I have to think about this because it's my responsibility to know, to seek the truth. And if the truth didn't find me, or if I don't find the truth, eventually the truth will find me. This is the principle that I carry with me in life, because I know that if you look for something, it will eventually find you, period. But lately, I've been thinking about these things like time, sleep process, like spiritual things that we experience and remain a mystery. But I am here today to share few things and few experiences that I've had myself. And I know I am not crazy. I know that so many people out there are just like me, are just deep, and they look for the truth, and they do reflect, they do think, they use their brains. Because it's really hard to be a thinker, especially when it comes to your spirit, because we're spiritual human beings. The most important thing in us is our spirit. If the spirit was not that important, then why the body dies and it's no longer useful? Like we just threw it, we just bury it. Explain this to me, because I can't seem to understand. And a lot of people are like, they have blind vision. They are not spiritually awakened, and that is so dangerous. Because imagine you spend whole your life being a follower to the systems that were created and established in this physical world, knowing that someday you will like you would go back to the spiritual world with literally nothing spiritual, no spiritual growth, no spiritual thinking, no spiritual beliefs. Literally, just go empty pockets, and then you be like, God, I've been working so hard. I've been building my career, and I've been a good person. What about your spiritual growth? What about what did you do to your spirit? Because we all know that our spirit is somehow is connected to the divine. And most people, they refuse to accept this as a fact. And that's fine, because I was ignorant once, but I am no longer ignorant, because God have shown me the truth. God have shown me the light. And as I said, I am not crazy. I am completely sane. Like, I am very healthy on all levels, like spirit, mind, body, you name it. I am literally healthy. So, this is a bit funny. So, I start to think that when we sleep, we traveled into a completely different dimension. That explains why we do forget most of our dreams. And I know that maybe scientists, I've never read articles about sleep and travel dreams, whatever. I never read about that, but when I start thinking about these things, I start to use my mental power to understand and actually make it make sense. I try to make sense of things that I think about, because I am a curious person and I always had questions. And I've been, how do I say, I used to question a lot, life things, whatever. I used to ask a lot of questions, especially in high school, but I was just stopped. I was not allowed to question things. I was not allowed to ask. And that didn't contribute in my spiritual or my personal growth in any way. And that is so sad. The schools today, they know that we know the truth, but they're refusing to open the door for the next generation, because they don't want people to be mentally free. They want people to stay stuck just like the past generations, and that's it. Because if we are awakened mentally or spiritual, because the freedom, it's not physical, it's mental, everything they ever built, everything they ever fight for, including us, will collapse. All the monetary systems that rule the world will collapse and will disappear forever. Period. So please, if you're not aware, or even if you're not convinced of the things that I've said, this is just the beginning, by the way. I haven't shared the things that would blow your mind, like for real, for real. I haven't shared everything yet. This is just the begin. This is just a drop of sea. But if you are not awakened, please, if you cannot convinced by me, go read books. And not only books, just be selective. When you read books, don't read whatever, or don't read popular books. Read books, ancient books, old books from different kind of people, civilizations, anything that could really help you sharp your mind. Like, be there. Like, don't just exist. Be there. Be not just awakened, but be present in the moment, because literally everything that matters is right now. The time does not exist. It's just mental. Maybe it's, well, time is subconscious. For me, in my philosophy, in my book, time is subconscious. It does not exist. And it's just feeling like we feel like time is it's passing by, time is changing, but it doesn't exist to begin with. Time, we only can sense time in a physical body, in a physical world. Subconsciously, we think that time does exist, but it doesn't exist at all. That's why it's subconscious. That's why we cannot adjust time. We cannot run it back. We cannot do anything with time. We just can feel it. And really, like, even 1 year of our life, it's like in God's timing, it's 1 day. It's literally 1 second. It's less than, it's nothing. Period. Peace and love.